Howdy gamers, it's me, Blue Raspberry Gaming, here with another Digimon deck profile, and today we're here with our boy Beelze, who wants to be a millionaire today, because we are going to be doing the biggest Digimon mill deck. One of my personal favorite decks, I think maybe I could say favorite deck, all the way back in EX2 is where this deck sort of got its, all of its normal cards. I played it to big tournament wins in our local scene to win a nice playmat back in the day. We had bigger store tournaments just for fun. And then he was quickly banned, right? We got the big bans on BLZ. We had the classic killing him to make the deck weaker. And then now, with the EX10, we've gotten enough waves of support for me to dig back the deck up and start playing it again. I've been playing this at locals. It's been fun. It's been doing shit. I don't know if this is a big tournament contender, but you can catch people off because this is a very big luck deck. There's a lot of skill to this, but a lot of luck in what you're going to mill from the top of your deck, which, if you don't know what that is, we'll explain it as we go. But for our egg, the only egg I think you legally should ever play is for Yaman. Yaman! He's, from the Beelzemon structure deck. He has his, when attacking, if the Digimon has the Wizard Demon Lord trait, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, which is going to be all of your guys except for Impmon. So your level 4s, 5s, and 6 will mill 2 cards when attacking. You're just getting, so milling, I'm going to keep saying that instead of trash 2 cards, but it's just taking the top 2 cards of your deck, top 3, however many cards of your deck, and just putting them immediately in trash. And then a lot of Beelze cards will have effects for when they're, when Digivolving on play, all that, but also when they're milled from your deck. So this egg, I just feel like it boosts your consistency to do that. It lets you control it. There's the egg that is on deletion mill cards, which some people, because they don't want to mill as many and mill themselves out, but I don't feel like you have more tools to keep yourself from decking out now. So I don't think you need that, and I think this helps you just consistently do that. On to our Impmons. One EX2 Impmon, he is he's the best one. He's hit for a reason. If you don't know, now you know. So this card, it's got a bunch of shit. The important thing is it has top text of when it's milled. When this is milled, you can mill up to 3 more cards from the top of your deck. So it's just really nice. You used to be able to have 4 of these and just spread throughout the deck, and you were just hitting and just milling a billion cards. And then its normal effects are on play, reveal top 4, add one of the Tamer archetype in this deck, and then Beelzemon in your add the rest of the bottom. And then he has an inherited, when this card is Beelze, give 3 KDP. So not bad, but you really miss the milling effect. You have ways to put this back to the top of your deck, too, which is kind of what you want to do when you see this card. Then we get to 2 Structure Deck Impmon. He's really good for his, when attacking, when you have 20 or more cards in your trash, he can warp up to Beelzemon for 3, which is really nice. And then he has the great inheritable of when something is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3s. It's really great for clearing floodgates. But you have so many Impmons now, like you really want to mix it up. I don't know. I just feel like it's nice to have a variety in this deck, to have a lot of different options, because you have a lot of ways to grab stuff back from trash, to access different things. So, you'll see. So then we have 2 BT19 Impmon. He has the inheritable retaliation, which is never, ever came up. And then he has the on play, which is the part that comes up of you can play a Tamer from your trash with play cost 4 or less, which is your Tamers cost 4 or less. And you'll be milling a lot, and sometimes you'll just get the Tamers to the trash. He's really nice. You have ways to cheat out Impmon, so don't worry about that 4 play cost, right? You're never really just hard slamming him for 4. Next, newest Impmon, EX10 Impmon. So first off, like EX2 Impmon, he has an effect of when he is milled. When he is milled, pop a level 4 or lower. That's pretty good. Pretty good. More importantly, start of your main phase, trash 2 cards. So a great play is like Digivolve into him in the back, turn 1, and then play Tamer. And then you're good, right? You push him out, mill 2, and then start doing your stuff. Because the automatic mill is really nice. And then he has the inherit of your turn. For every 10 cards in trash, gain 1,000 DP. And then our final rookie, I think the best Impmon X from BT12. So on play when Digivolving, trash an option card in your hand, and then you can return 1 archetype card from your trash to hand. Just it's evil, wizard, or demon lord, which is everything. So he's really nice at getting your shit back. And then I think what the better thing is, when attacking, Mildew. He's great for, you're going to be playing a lot of Impmons off of effects. He's great to like Digivolve over them to get stuff back from trash. He's just one of the many like ways that you're getting stuff back from trash for free usually, but just pitching an option. And you're going to need your pieces. You're going to need to interact with your trash a lot. So that is our rookies. You know, we play a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a normal amount, but they're just weird ratios. You know, you could experiment with what you want. I think this has been fun for me. If anything, I would like more of the structure deck Impmon, but I think it's just nice to have the options, you know. And you do want to see that Impmon X. He's just really good. On to champions, level 4s. We have Wizardmon, the promo Wizardmon, which is when this, so his important effect, when this card is milled from your deck, gain 1 memory. There are 2 cards in the deck that do this, so you play both of them at 4. And then he has the also nice, so usually you just want this to be milled. You're not really going to Digivolve onto this, but if you do, he's got a really, really nice inheritable. When attacking, you can reveal 1 purple card in your hand and return it to the top of your deck. So when attacking, you'll activate this first, put something on top of your deck, and then you have other effects like the egg to then mill cards when you're attacking. So you're pretty much just stacking your deck to what you want. We play 2 of the new EX10 Wizardmon, Inherited Barrier. He has a nice, when milled effect of when this card is trashed from your deck, give 1 of your opponent's Digimon security -1 until their turn ends. And then he also has, on play when Digivolving, trash the top card of your security, then trash the top 2 cards of your deck, and all of your opponent's Digimon get -3k. So not only is he letting you mill cards from your deck, you are giving -3k to the board, which can be really funny, right? It can clear some stupid stuff. And then we end off on I think our most important level 4 from BT12 Wizardmon X. So Wizardmon X has the when Digivolving to mill 2 cards from the top of your deck if he's not Digivolving over Wizardmon. If he's Digivolving over Wizardmon, he just gains blocker. So usually you just want to go over an Impmon with this. And then he has the great, just like Impmon X to anybody, when attacking, trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. So you're just more mills. Wizardmon, you know, full on this deck. You think there used to be Witchmon we could play with, but just having the new Wizardmon and just being able to do Wizardmon X as well. So, you know, in case you want to just Digivolve up in the back to keep drawing cards, like it's great to just go Wizardmon, Wizardmon X, and then into your level 5s as well. Speaking of level 5s, the new best Ballmon, I think, personally, we got EX10 Ballmon. So he is on play when Digivolving. So you can do this for a cost of, you know, 7. You can just play him. I've done that. You can just play him. And he trashes 3 cards, so mill 3 from the top of your deck. Then if you have 5 or more in your trash, he gains blocker reboot. And then also, on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play a Beelzemon from trash without paying the cost. So that's kind of the nice part. You just hard slam him down, and if you have your 10 in trash, he gets blocker, reboot, and then your opponent, if they deal with him, with deleting him, you know, you're going to get Beelzemon to play. And if they don't deal with him, you just have a body you can then Digivolve up on. So he's a really, like, I know the big thing is there's a lot of ways of removing without deletion in the game now, so, right? But he's also good to just Digivolve into, and if you still have turn, just swing, because it doesn't matter if he dies. You can just get your Beelzemon out. That's kind of what all Ballmon do now in the deck, because then we have 2 structure deck Ballmon. Nice judge sample in there. You know me, I love judging people. But he has the effect of when Digivolving, trash top 3, and then he gains on deletion. If there are 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play Beelzemon from your trash. So very similar, so pretty much the exact same effect of that. But he gains it to the whole stack, so if he's de-Digivolved, you still keep it. If he Digivolves up into a Beelzemon, he still keeps it. I just think this one might be a little better right now, so that's why I'm going there. And then I play 1 BT10 Ballmon, who has the on deletion if you have 10 or more, play a Beelzemon, and then when attacking, trash up to 3 from the top of your deck. This one's nice to just go into in the back. if I would cut any of the Balmon, I would change this into a structure deck one. But I think he gives you, if you just want to, right, if you want to keep him back because you don't want your opponent to start messing with your stuff, he is really good if you have him in hand. Digivolve all the way up to him, push out, and then you mill like, you just mill a shit ton of cards with the egg and with him, with everything. Just very, very good on that. And then they all do pretty much have the on deletion play a Beelzemon. So let's start seeing Beelzemon. The new star of the show, Beelzemon Ace. And, we have the nice Akira art. He is the new greatest ooh card that could offer. I'm thinking about bumping him up to 3. I could even hear an argument for 4 because he is so good. He's the secret rare from EX10. He is an ace, so you can blast. You can blast over an Impmon. When you have 20 more cards in your trash, Impmon can Digivolve into this directly. So that means if you have 20 more cards in trash, you can blast over that Impmon, which some people might not see coming. But on play, when Digivolving, when attacking, trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Then delete one of your opponent's play cost of 6 or lower Digimon. For every 10 in your trash, add 3. So it's really easy to at least get up to 9 play cost. Then get 12 is also not bad because getting 20 is not that hard. So you can consistently delete 12 play cost with him. And then his second on play when Digivolve effect is fun. This is the one you probably want to, so you can order either of these effects however you want. So you usually want to do this one first, but I've had scenarios where I want to do them in different orders. But you can, however you want. So his second on play when Digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, by returning the top 2 not Digi-Egg cards from your trash to the top of your deck, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. So what you want to do there, do this, play him or blast Digivolve, stack 2 cards to the top of your deck, and then do his first effect to mill those 2 cards and then delete something. It's really nice to stack the old limited Impmon and then like a memory gain, and then you mill 2, then mill 3 more. And you're just milling 5 cards, which is pretty solid. But he's just great removal. He's great. He's like really good removal. Just de-Digivolve is really nice. Almost nothing has an answer to that. And if they do, he can pop things as well. So usually they don't have an answer to both. He's a great surprise. He's great to just get played off of when you delete things. Really good. Second, Beelzemon. Like the Impmons, we play a lot of different Beelzemons. We have EX2 Beelzemon. When this card is milled, you can play an Impmon from your trash without paying the cost, which is really nice for playing all those Impmons, like I said. You can play the one that plays out the Tamer, right? You can play any of them. He's really good. And then when Digivolving when attacking, not limited to once per turn, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower. For every 10 cards in your trash, add 1. So you can pretty much do a level 5 easily, but you're going to be reaching to get a level 6. He's the one you don't want to play because he has no on-play effect off of if you delete. But if you have to, it's good to just get a body out because he does have a when attacking. So if you can attack with him again, it is pretty good. And then the last normal Beelzemon, we have EX6 Beelzemon. He has just rush. So the fun thing is with him, if you play him off of the on deletion, he can then swing, and then he mills 4, and then de-Digivolves 2 on one of your opponent's Digimon. If you have 10 or more in trash, great. And then his alterns does not matter because we're not playing a Demon Lord deck. This one, I think, would be the one that gets changed into an ace, but you can sneak away games with this, right? With just having that one extra swing with rush, you never know. Then we go into, for our final level 6, 2 Beelzemon X antibodies. This is the card that really I think it, I was going to say breaks the deck. It used to break it, but it's a little harder now. But he's one of your best guys. So when he Digivolves over a Beelzemon, if you have 10 in trash 1 security. If you have 20 in trash 2. And then you see where I'm going. So for every 10 in your trash, he trashes that many security. I would say he's usually trashing 2 to 3 security, which is insane. Just Digivolve trash 3. Digivolve trash 2 is still pretty good. And his on deletion is you can play an Impmon, a card with Impmon in his name, so also Impmon X antibody, from your trash without paying the cost, so he does have some kind of value if he gets deleted. Just really good for burning through your opponent's security. because, I mean, this deck did have a card, which I don't play, that can gain security attack, but it doesn't. So your best way to get through a bunch of security is with X Antibody. Then our 2 level 7. So we play 1 Structure Deck Blast Mode and 1 Blast Mode Ace. Structure Deck Blast Mode. When he is trashed from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. Then for every 10, add 1 to the level. So just a pretty good way of removal for milling him out. But also, when Digivolving, if you have 20 or more cards in trash, unsuspend your Digimon and gain 3 memory. He costs 4 to Digivolve, so he'll effectively cost 1. Unsuspend, another way to just kind of swing for game. And then Blast Mode Ace is just another form of just kind of ace, just defensive ability. But also, you'll see, he's a really good way to not lose yourself the game. But on play when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 6 or lower. And if you have 10 or more cards in trash, delete just one of your opponent's Digimon instead. Then his I think better effect. When attacking, by returning 10 non-Digiate cards from your trash to the top of your deck. Trash your opponent's top security. So he is how you, if you're gonna mill yourself out, if you've like gotten to your last cards and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose the game by just decking myself out, he's a really good option to not do that. He could also maybe be cut, but I think he does come up, especially with how easily you can just, you cheat out Beelzes and then they just kind of sit on the board after they've done their stuff. And if your opponent's not suspecting it, he's good to come out with that. And he's also good to go into sometimes and start milling. Start milling, start killing. And you get to put 10 cards back. And if you can really just know your 10 cards, you can set up some crazy plays. Then for Tamers, we only play 1 Tamer at 4 copies, and that is the Structure Deck Iron Mako. I see the other Tamers. I see them. I don't know. But on play, search top 4 for archetype card. Just one of the cards, grab in hand. Great searching. It's the only way to search for Impmon, because, Impmon searches for, I think it searches for Wizardmon as well. It searches for everything, but I'm trying to think, specifically the one Impmon that searches, it doesn't matter. You're not searching much in this deck, so this is a good way to search. And then your turn, the more important effect, so you don't believe the search isn't the main thing. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a purple Digimon, tap this Tamer and put a card from your hand on the top of your deck and gain a memory. So this is your big stack your deck. You stack you put what's in your hand into the deck and start milling just to manipulate your mills. And that's the only Tamers I've needed so far. And then on to options. For the options that we just kind of want to get milled, we have 2 Rivals Barrage, 4 Deathslinger. Rivals Barrage is a card when milled, you place it into your battle area, and it has a delay effect. And its delay effect is return a purple Digimon or Tamer from your trash to your hand. Its main effect, you delete your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and that's its security as well, but you mainly want this to be milled, and you can grab a piece back eventually. See, there's a lot of cards that say, grab something back from trash, or do something with cards in trash, so this isn't necessarily a 4 of anymore, but Deathslinger still is. Deathslinger is when this is milled from your deck, like Wizardmon, gain 1 memory. Huge, that's how you extend turns. But this card also is just a really good form of removal. For a cost of 4, you can delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. For every 10 in your trash, increase this by 1 level. So if you have 20 in trash, you can just pop level 6s for 4 cost. And that's pretty crazy, especially with this deck that can gain a lot of memory by the Tamer and milling certain cards. Just, oh yeah, I pay 4, pop one of your things. There's no restriction. Okay, it's pretty good. And then finally, we have 2 Purple Scramble. Purple Scramble, it's the Scramble cards. If you've never seen a Scramble, they're really, they're really good. It's for, its main effect, when your purple Digimon can digivolve into a purple Digimon, cost reduced by 3. So for a cost of 2, you usually want to devolve into your Ballmon or Beelzemon. And then its more important effect for this deck is start a turn, you can put a card on top of your deck and play a 2K. But so the important part about this is if you have 0 cards left in deck, as long as your opponent has a Digimon field to meet the condition of you can activate Purple Scramble, you can then not deck out, because at the start of your turn, you can place a card from your trash to the top of your deck, and then you'll draw that. So this is the save your ass button, which you do kind of need sometimes. but it's also just good to be able to Digievolve for cheaper. I could see not doing this and doing like purple training, but I like the scramble. I think it works with what the deck wants. If you mill it, yeah, you shouldn't have milled it. You just shouldn't have done that. But you know, you can't have everything. This deck again is very, very, very luck reliant. And that's kind of why I like it. It feels like it hits the big gamble when you hit like double Wizardmon, and just gain 2 memory and keep turn. It's so cool. And look at Beelzemon. He's just sick, isn't he? He's the sickest big 7/7 guy. He's just the coolest one. He has a sick motorbike now with the Akira. Who doesn't like Akira? Everybody likes Akira. So I think this deck's fun. I think this deck is very versatile, right? I could see many lists looking different than this. I could, do whatever you want. There's so many other Beelze cards now that have come out between last time I played this deck in like EX2, BT10, or BT11, and now. So, or BT12, sorry. That's when the X Anybody stuff came out. BT12. And it's been the last time I've really, really dived into this deck. But I've been really enjoying it. It's just been a fun deck to play. Win or lose, you feel like you're having fun, with this deck. You just like, because you do a lot. The deck does a lot of things, and just milling cards, it's like an exciting thing for me. It's like, oh, you never know what you're going to get, and it's going to change up what's going to happen. So, if you don't like decks that play like that, you might not like this, but I think it's very fun. I think it's got a lot of new fun cards. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to, drop your list. If you got like a different list or saying, why aren't you playing this card? Let me know in the comments. But I've been the Blue Raspberry Gamer. This has been the Beelzemon deck profile for EX10. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.